Hey yo, what's good YouTube? It's NAS Trading back in the building, and today's daily breakdown, I'm going to be going over my NAS trade that I took on my funded and my live account. I made $930 on my funded, $115 on my live. So that total for today is going to be about, let's calculate that up real quick. That total for today is going to be $1,045 on in total, and I also took payout today, so I'm just going to show some screenshots, screen recordings of my trade after I took profit, and then I'm going to show a screenshot of me taking payout. So without further ado, we're going to dive straight into it. All right, and this time I'm going to just go back to the 30-minute. I'm not going to go back all the way to the 1 hour because it don't really make sense. You can see what I'm talking about on 30 minutes, so let's break this down. So as you guys know, I speak about this in my previous videos about price pushing down without retracing. And like I said, when price pushes down without retracing, it has to come back and correct. It's called impulse and correction. So this right here was just nothing but impulse, and it never made a correction. So knowing that and going into 8:30, I was waiting for price to come into this 15-minute demand. And if we drop down, I was waiting for price to come into this 15-minute demand to create a higher low. Once I seen that price pushed into this area around 8:30 on a 15-minute time frame, I was like, okay, we pushing into this area, we creating a higher low. Now it's time for me to look for entry, and that's exactly what I did. I waited just a little bit for price to get further above because NAS tends to trick a lot of people out. And it wasn't that I was so worried about getting tricked out. I just did not want to get into an entry at a bad time, and then NAS comes back down, stops me out, and then flies. So that's why I waited a little bit. So my entry was 75. It was not 75, but it was 25.76.7 even. But it's going to say 25.766.25. But that was not my real entry. My real entry was 25.767.00 even. So that's why I got my entry. So let's look at that. Let's go right there. It's 0.25, but who cares? So I got my entry in this candlestick right here, and then I have my stops around this area, and I just let it fly, and the rest was history. And the reason why I caught this trade and I was able to see it was clear as day what was going on. One, price pushed all the way down since yesterday with no pullback, and this was the pullback. This whole move right here was the pullback or the correction. Two, price made a W formation. So if we go right here and we grab our path out, we see that we have a clear W formation that was created, right? And then three, we also had the higher low creation inside the 15-minute demand area, and then we had a strong bullish pin bar push out of that area, and that's why I got in. You're gonna hear me say time and time again, I do not need more than 3 confluences. Let me say this one more time. I do not need more than 3 confluences. And if you do need more than 3 confluences, that means that you don't trust yourself. I do not have any indicators. As you can see, indicators will be right here. I don't have any indicators. I trade purely market structure and price action. And that's why a lot of traders go wrong. They get so caught up in the indicators, so caught up in all these tools, but they don't use what they have in front of them. Price is going to tell you what it wants to do. You just have to see and wait for it to tell you what it wants to do. And that's exactly what I did. And that's exactly why I won this trade. And like I said, I showed you guys the screen recordings and the screenshot before I broke this trade down. But yeah, that was about it. This is not a long video. This is straight to the point. Again, I'm going to go over my confluences again. 1, price made an impulse and it had to correct, and I knew that. 2, price made a W formation, right? So price made a W formation. 3, inside price making a W formation, it made a higher low inside the newly created 15-minute demand area. And that's it. That's all I needed to know. And I already know how price likes to move. I know when price is setting itself up to do a big push out. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I will be happy to reply to you, give you some pointers. If you need some pointers, just feel free to ask. But without further ado, this has been NAS Trading signing out. Peace.